Welcome back to RØDECaster User Meetup. Let's see, who do we have here? I think I see Louis already in the YouTube chat. Hello, Louis. And we also have Jada G in on Clubhouse. Hello, Jada G. This is one of the two shows that we do weekly here on Tuesday. This is the RØDECaster User Meetup, where we're gonna get together. All RØDECaster users are gonna talk about RØDECasters. Anything new, anything we've learned over the past several years you've been using this device, you can participate. This is a collaborative learning channel, which means if you have knowledge to share, you can come here and teach all of us the information. If you have questions to ask, we will collectively come together and answer that questions, including if you are thinking about getting a RØDECaster and if you want to ask those questions that you might be interested in finding out before you pull the trigger, you can do so. I'm going to put a link in the chat so that you get to learn how to participate. So if you go to the website learnertolearner.com, which is really the place that I'd like for you to head over there first, if you're joining us for the first time, go there and then click on the call in with Zoom button. Once you click on that button, it will bring you to a registration page. Very quick. I updated the registration page a little bit. So we just need your names, first name and last name, and then I'll ask you how to, what is that? Do you agree to join? And you say agree. Again, this is just essentially consent for me to have you show up on my channel. And optionally, if you want to, you can also include the question that you want to ask us. So if you're watching this and if you want to participate in the future shows, you can do that ahead of time. You could also do that as you're watching us live. And if you have thought of some questions, you want to throw that in the chat, you could do that. You want to come onto the show and let us hear your sound setup, you can also do that and let us hear you live. We also have Louis here with us today. Let me add him to the show. Hello, Louis. How are you doing?
How are you?
Good. There you go. Here's Louis.
Well, I got two mics hooked up.
You got two mics hooked up. What are they?
Hold on.
I can see the little rectangular one. What is that one?
This?
No, the other one, this one that's in front of you. The rectangular, yeah, the rectangular.
That one is the FI.
Fifine. Fifine something? What model is it?
M8.
M8. And then the other one?
Palm mic.
Pot mic, that's right. That's your usual mic.
Yeah.
Fifine M8. And which camera are you on right now? Are you still on your Insta 360? X2? What is it? M2? What is it called?
Yeah.
Something 2.
Yeah.
X2?
I think so. I don't keep in track.
Let's see if Glenn is in his car, or is he able to get into his house now. Oh, I'm gonna add Glenn to
Who's a Nintendo fan
too.
Who is the Nintendo fan?
Not me. I'm sure somebody is. If you're a Nintendo fan in the chat, let us know. Did you just get a Nintendo? I saw your comment.
It is hard to find.
It's hard to find, meaning like a lot of people want it and it's difficult to get it. Okay.
It is hard to find.
Which model is it? Nintendo what? Nintendo. 2. Say it again?
Number 2.
Nintendo 2. Is it a console?
Yes.
Console game. Let's see. Okay, all right. Okay, Maestro Stevens is joining us for the first time. Welcome, Maestro Stevens. I'm gonna add him. I'm gonna add Glenn. I'm gonna add Maestro Stevens. And Glenn is also here. All right, let's go see who our guests are. Hello, Maestro Stevens.
Hello, hello.
Finally get to see you. Not just in the chat, but in person. Oh, sort of in person, virtually.
Nice to meet you as well. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so glad you're able to make it. Look at that. Look at how dedicated Glenn is still in his car. Oh man. I love it, Glenn. So, oh my gosh, your mic is not. Somehow I couldn't quite hear you. Barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Very vaguely, like
It's
very
very
soft
low.
and very distant.
Well, this will all be rectified next week. I'll be back at my normal desk next week.
He'll be back at his normal desk. Translation. He'll be back at his normal desk next week. Well, I'm so glad you're still able to join us. I promised last week our sound check went on for over 3 hours.
Yes.
And I'm not going to do that tonight. Okay, I'm going to stick to 1 hour tonight. But we're still going to talk about RØDECaster. In fact, since Maestro Stevens joining us for the first time, maybe it would be interesting to tell us, Maestro, what got you into using a RØDECaster? Do you have a RØDECaster Pro II? Yeah, tell us like what got you into it.
Yes, the RØDECaster Pro II is something I definitely would say is my favorite tool. As far as like audio tool got me into it. I needed a device. I got robbed with all my equipment.
Oh
and I needed
no!
to update my stuff anyway, so I just kind of used it as an opportunity. And at that time, Rode came out with the parts, RØDECaster 2, and I didn't
What
want to
did you have before?
M Audio. One of those
M Audio. Okay.
interfaces.
And what really like attracted you to it? Curious. This would be good for people who might be interested in purchasing too. Like, is there specific feature set that you're familiar with or learned about or interested in that is?
Please tell us.
I mean, I don't want to sound like a fanboy on the spot. You're putting me on the spot, John.
You can be honest.
I mean, I'm a big fan of multifunctional things. So if I can buy something that can do 2, 3, 4, 5 things and at a good, without sacrificing quality, I'm gonna get it. So that's what really attracted me to it.
Well, that's cool. Now, do you mainly use it for recording, or do you mainly use it for live stream, or both? And what else do you do with it?
Well, based on the last meetup, I will tell you I'm not one of the people who record to the board, because I know that was a big deal with you guys, which was kind of funny.
Well, apparently I'm the only one recorded to the board.
But I do as a backup. I like the advice you guys gave, and you guys came up, doing it as a backup just in case. But for the most part, live streaming, I started getting into more recording gaming. I started a gaming channel, and then I do client meetings and just content creation.
That's awesome. So I'm sure you find the additional, like the one USB connection having multiple chats and that's super useful, I think, for people who create content and host live shows, and essentially getting inputs in and out to your RØDECaster or to your mixer. With one connection, you can have multiple controls. In fact, you were the one that we were talking about, maybe going deeper into the virtual channels, right? Was that with you?
Yeah, that was an adventure.
Yeah, it is. And I just started to learn a little bit more about it too. Hello, Rob. He said, under the weather here, so I'll watch. Sure, no problem. Hope you're feeling better. Let's see. So now I'm curious that you've had this. I think you said that you've had this for since it came out, right? Like 2 years.
I think I'm the only person out of all the people that bought this device that has had 4 units.
4 units?
Yes.
Tell
I had to
us.
ship it back 3 times.
Oh my
and
goodness, was it the smart pads?
that
What
was
was the
one.
issue? Oh, that was,
one
so
issue.
you're hitting all the issues.
That was one issue.
That's good to know. That's good to know. Yeah, tell us all about it. So one is which one? What was the first one? What was the lemon?
Smart
the first
pad.
lemon, smart pad.
The
So
smart pad.
let's explain a little bit because I don't think it's out in the market anymore. If you buy a used one, you might. So what happened is when you hit on the smart pads around the smart pads, like here or just the area around the smart pads, it would trigger that smart pad. Is that what you're experiencing?
No.
What do you
My
have?
experience was it would just randomly just go off.
Oh yeah. So
and
yeah,
just trigger
it would be the same thing. Like you don't touch it. If
Yeah, I
you
didn't touch
it's just like this phantom smart pads activation. Yeah. So it's part of that. There's some circuitry that is not wired properly. If you lightly tap on your table, if there's any vibration, it would also trigger it, and sometimes not at all. Like moisture would actually trigger it too. So that happened to you, unfortunately, and then you have to send it back,
Yes.
and you got it back, and what happened?
The screen froze. The screen wouldn't.
Oh.
No, the meter, the unit meter would just go up and down. It was jitter randomly.
Oh, so like the green bar would just go up and down, up and down, up and down. That doesn't.
No, the white, the unity
Oh,
meter.
the little tic tac.
Yeah, little tic tac.
This little tic tac right here we're talking about, that this little white indicator that is for your fader. So as I move my fader, like here, as I move my fader, you can see the tic tac move up and down. That's essentially the marker of where it's at. So that would randomly, it would do this, go up and down. Now, does it actually affect the sound? Does it make the volume go up and down, or is it just visually showing that?
The sound, sometimes it would. Sometimes it would affect the sound. Sometimes it would freeze. Like it wouldn't. It would just do that, and I couldn't move it.
Oh, so it's like haunted RØDECaster. Sometimes the smart pads fire on its own. Sometimes the tic tac would move on its own.
Ghosts.
Okay, so that's a new one. I don't think I've heard of that. So what happened? You set it back? Man, you must have a lot of faith in them. I would probably, after the second one, I probably would have given up.
I mean, they ended up giving me a free free mic for all my trebles.
Pop mic?
Yeah.
Did you have well, maybe Pop mic USB wasn't out yet at that time.
No. Actually, I convinced them to give me the.
It was out. Okay, the newer Pop mic. Okay, cool.
That's
I
what
mean,
I have.
for 4 units, yes, I would also ask. Oh, you have a pop mic USB. What is it called? Pop mic USB.
Yep.
So the one with both XLR and a.
Yep, that's what I
USB.
have.
That's good. That's what you have right now. It's
Yep.
it's a little loud. It's a little hot, your mic. Maybe because you pulled it a little closer. You don't typically have it that close. And so what is the third lemon?
The whole unit for the unit wouldn't turn on. It shut off and wouldn't turn on.
Oh my gosh. So how long from that 4 RØDECaster lemons that you had, how long over the span of how long? Like 4 months, 6 months, a year?
2 years, I think.
Oh man, so the one that you have is actually right now is actually still kind of fairly newish, because the product's been out like a little bit over 2 years, right?
Yeah, the latest one I have. I think I got back in 2020, late 2023.
Oh, okay,
Early 2024.
okay. Wow. So
We got,
I didn't know.
John, we got the 4-hour person.
Got the 4-hour person. We've got Aaron joining us now. I'm gonna add Aaron to it. I was telling everybody, Aaron, that
The 4-hour person.
Wait.
Yeah, I heard that. I was here. I was
3
struggling.
hours. 3 plus.
I was
3
struggling.
plus.
That's right. It was 3.5.
Yeah.
No. It's
Look,
okay.
Yeah,
look,
no.
Maestro Stevens in the flash was sort of.
Hello. Good to see. Nice to meet you.
I loved it. By the way,
In the
you were
flesh.
the highlight of the whole. You're the reason why I stayed.
Oh, yeah. Well, I learned some stuff, and I want to talk about it later.
Okay, good, good. I'm glad. So he was just telling us how he had 4 over the span of owning a RØDECaster Pro II. This is his 4th unit.
Yeah, I would have given up.
Yeah, I probably would
Me
have
too.
You got faith, which is good. And hopefully, so if you have it this since 2023, then you have had this one for a while then, so you haven't been experiencing anything bad.
Mm-mm.
I'm glad.
No, they checked it themselves this time. They did a very thorough check, and they told me everything that they checked. And they went down. They gave me secrets that they didn't tell anybody. I got to know the technicians pretty
Oh,
thoroughly
good.
or intimately at that point.
Nice, nice. Is there anything that you can spill the bean here for us?
I mean, it's outdated information. Like everything came out. The virtual channels. all
Oh,
that
I
kind of
see,
stuff.
I see. So you got to know, you get a little
Inside.
insight of what's to come, but now it's already out, so you can talk about it. So we can. I think let's find another time. Like I would be happy to maybe go through from the beginning, because we'll briefly talk about it. What we're talking about is, I think they call it the virtual. Correct me if I'm mistaken. I think it's called virtual channels. No, is that called virtual channels? Virtual inputs. Is it virtual inputs or virtual channel? I can't remember. Virtual channels, maybe.
Submixes too. What are those?
Submixes?
What are submixes?
Submixes. They don't call it submixes. They call
Okay.
it routing. So in let me go. So in your settings, and if you go to output and go to routing, these are submixes essentially. So submixes essentially allows you. They call it routing because that's the action. You route different channels into these different outputs. So that's essentially submixes. On the traditional mixers, it would be called submix. But when it comes to what we were talking about, the input, it's this right here. What did they call it? USB input. USB 1 will feature 4 additional channels alongside with the system and chat input. So this one, this is inside your multi-track page of your menu. And the first one, should I have the highlight? First tab is recording. Second one is USB 1 output and USB 1 input. If USB 1 input could be standard, if it is standard, it's just your main, USB main, and then your USB chat. And then if you tap on expanded, it's going to give you more channels where you can have. That's when you have like all the when I go to my fader here, you'll see you have additional channels like game, music, A and B. Those are the additional inputs that you get from your computer. So on your computer, not only are you getting your main USB 1 here with the little icon there, and you have chat through USB 1. Also from USB 1, you can get expanded virtual channels or inputs, including these 4. Game, music, A and B. Of course, it's named just like chat. You don't need to use chat for chat like Charles. Charles used chat for music and then used USB 1 for chat. So you don't technically need to use what it's labeled for. It's just for simplicity's sake, it's easy. So same thing, A, B. It could have easily been A, B, C, D.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that would be what we were talking about earlier, which is the virtual channels. And I think it's fun to explore that because I just started using it, and it is a little bit trickier for people on the Mac. And I think, Maestro, you are on a Mac, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So because of that, and it sounds like you already have Loopback, the application Loopback.
Yes.
So have you explored using it yet, or thinking about using it, tried it, but haven't really started using it much?
No, I've thoroughly tested it out. I've got my thing set up.
Okay,
My
so
chats, yep.
so you do use it. Tell us how you use it. Maybe we can talk about it now. So like
Uh,
why do you want to use those additional inputs?
well, like you said, on a Mac, it's a little different than Windows when it comes to the utilization of being able to route
Yeah.
those virtual channels. So that's what I found out Loopback was for. And so right now I have, for example, my PS5 capture card coming through the Elgato capture card. I have that on the gaming icon channel.
Mm.
I route that. I have
Oh, it's because you were for
the
your gaming
B,
channel.
because it's a gaming channel, right?
Yeah.
I have B. Ironically, I know B stands for consider anything, but
Yeah.
I put it as B standing for browser.
Okay,
It means-
perfect. Something you would remember. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have my Safari and Chrome routed through there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the music icon on there, I put that with my Spotify
Yeah.
and Apple Music.
Perfect. Makes sense.
And then with the A, I kind of go back and forth between using like the iPhone mirroring, or I use the my AI apps like the voice apps, Perplexity, ChatGPT, and I route that to that channel.
iPhone mirroring. You
So A for
just gave
AI.
me an idea. You just gave me an idea. I need to look into it because maybe I'll ask you this. You can teach me. So for iPhone mirroring, you are but it's not two-way, is it? It's input
No,
only.
I found
Oh, it
so
is
with iPhone
two-way.
mirroring, I found out that it passes the audio and video. It passes everything. So it comes in as an application.
So how are you using it? Like when do you use it? When do you use iPhone mirroring? Do you mirror what, like when you show a demo, or what do you?
It would be if something more specific to, the iPhone or the phone form factor of showing
Yeah.
something, how to do something, and
Because
doing it that way.
I would like to do that. I never thought of it. But how do you, okay, so I've always wanted to do that because, I'm also simultaneously, hi Marcos, on Clubhouse. So I also have Clubhouse here, and I've always been wanting to just show my phone on whenever I see the screen. You see my phone on there, and when the iPhone mirroring when it first came out, I thought, okay, I'm gonna use that, but then it messes up the sound. So because when I use Clubhouse, I use Clubhouse audio as well. So the sound that the sound from the RØDECaster, I want it to go into the Clubhouse sound, but whenever I do screen capture, it says it loses the audio, so it disconnect the audio from my mix, or it tells me I can't capture the audio or something. So I need to look into it, but maybe you can tell me like how you do it and when, and how do you use audio, and what do you mean by choosing your A as your the sound for your virtual, no, what's it called? The iPhone mirroring. How do
Yeah,
you
the
use it?
well, Apple made it pretty simple as far as the iPhone mirroring part. Just having the app, and because C grade student person, so it's no situation, right?
Yeah, the video part is easy, but how's the audio? Yeah, does it capture, like how do you use the audio?
Yeah, as far as I tested it with YouTube, I've tested it with Gemini, with the Gemini Live on there. I click the button. I'm on the computer on the iPhone, because you're using your mouse. You're not using the iPhone anymore.
Yeah.
When you're using the iPhone mirror. And I clicked the button. I tried apps, and every app that I clicked, I played it through my speakers. It came out through my computer.
But are you able to speak to because I can get sound in?
No, it doesn't. No,
yeah, because it only does one way. It only sends sound from your phone outward. It does not send sound into, which is why I couldn't use it, because the reason why I want to use Clubhouse is because it has really great audio, and I don't want to sacrifice that by going over to this app that you're seeing now on whenever I show Clubhouse. This is actually an app that is run on my computer, showing the room, even though the sound from Clubhouse actually comes from my phone. So which is why one direction, if it's like one way demoing, would be perfect. All the sound you can then route to, and I think, is it in the iPhone mirroring, you get to choose what output you want to send the sound to? Is that how you chose A as the output?
That's when I use Loopback. I brought in the iPhone as a
I
source in Loopback.
see. Okay, got it. Yeah, that is the whole reason why Apple using a Mac would be a little bit more cumbersome, because Apple does not all apps allow you to choose your output. And therefore, you need to use app like Loopback to help you route audio to one of these additional 4 channels on your RØDECasters through Loopback. And in Loopback, you'll tell it, okay, the iPhone mirroring app, send the audio out through to the A channel. That's what you're doing, right? Okay, got it. Makes sense. Still doesn't help my situation, because I wish it would be doing both ways. Like, if iPhone mirroring allow audio input, like if it allows my mixer to send sound through my iPhone through the mirroring app, then it'll be working for me. Maybe in the future, maybe iOS 27.
I think that would be more of a. So the similar issue I've had with the RØDECaster, I thought that you should be able to. I think the average person would think you can connect your RØDECaster to your PlayStation because there's a USB-C cable. Then I found out the hard way that after every couple of seconds, it makes a sound, and they did it on purpose. Sony locked the
it's
audio
copyright. Yeah.
Yep, they did it on. So I think I think that if you tried that with the iPhone mirroring, trying to get the audio in, now you're infringing on other apps that want you to use the iPhone. Now you're kind of like bypassing barriers to get into the app, audio into the app. And I think that would be a different issue. That's not just about Apple, in my opinion.
But it would be coming out that they want to protect, right? Not necessarily going in, because they don't want their music coming out from it and then being, let's say the game audio, you get to capture it. And so they put out like copyrighted garbled stuff in there to protect it. But if I just want sound going in so that I can pipe my mic into a certain app, but shouldn't that be, maybe it's a limitation or copyright thing that I'm not thinking about yet. But that's something interesting. I need to think through and see, because I would like to be able to do that. Wayne is here. Hello, Wayne. I watched several videos on Loopback. Very interesting. Yeah, Loopback is super powerful, and it makes my brain hurt. Because it's, well, the thing is, Loopback is already the simplest way of dealing with audio routing. Apparently, you can also do it with like audio MIDI MIDI setup on your Mac already, but I don't know how to do it, and so I use Loopback. And Loopback was necessary for the earlier days, especially using the RØDECaster OG, and I was doing a lot of like, crazy routing. Since the new RØDECaster came out, RØDECaster Pro II and Duo, it allows you to have 2 inputs and outputs, 2 IOs, which is the main and also the chat, with just one connection, and then on top of that a USB 2. So essentially, if you connect all those 2 USB connections to one or multiple devices, you can then link all those devices together. Previously, you would probably have to use Loopback to do if you only have one input and output through your RØDECaster. Charles just joined us. How come Charles can join and Charles is already added to, I don't know what I did. I haven't spent time to look at what my settings are. Charles can always come in without me having to add him. And then everybody else I have to add. I don't know why is that.
He's special.
Why do you have special privilege that I don't know?
I added to my calendar.
No, I meant like adding you to my switcher. Like you automatically added. Maybe there's some settings that I did. I have to look into it. Anyway, Charles, new friend chatting in the chat last week. Maestro Stevens is now here in virtual flesh.
I have a question for Maestro.
Yes.
If
what is it? Nintendo doesn't want you to play their video games. How do people stream Nintendo games if you can't play the audio?
Oh, you mean to the PlayStation example I
Yeah,
was saying?
yeah.
Oh
It's
no, I was
just
just saying that I I thought that you could hook up the RØDECaster directly to the PlayStation via USB-C, and they stop you from doing that.
so.
I
How do you hook it up
see.
instead?
Audio. It's probably. Do you use like HDMI or something to? How do you connect your
Yeah,
Oh,
I have to use
okay.
that. So I have to use the Rode capture card,
capture card? So
and I have to
essentially,
push it to
it's
the
turning
computer.
into analog.
Okay.
Like they don't want you to capture it like digitally,
They
maybe.
don't want you going from Rode to PlayStation. They want you going from Rode to computer to PlayStation.
Okay. They probably have control over something somewhere
Mm.
within that configuration.
No, it's just the
Interesting.
audio. They own the audio. It's an audio. It's an intentional audio lock,
Right,
basically,
right.
without saying the jargon terms of it. But they locked it on purpose,
So they copyright, I mean, watermark it with the
so
beeps.
to speak.
Yeah.
Yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Interesting.
Wayne said, "I'm not up with NDI for iPhone, whatever it's called now, but can it send audio with video, with your screen share?" ND. Oh, so I think he's talking about using NDI to send your screen capture to your computer. There are different apps that does that. There are many apps out there, not many, but there's several apps out there that can do that. Casting essentially, but of course, on a Mac it would be native if you want to capture it from the iPhone mirroring app. I was excited. I thought I was going to definitely be able to use my Clubhouse tool there, but then I can't. Especially if it's a two-way communication app, it just you lose audio. The audio comes out from my my phone instead. So rather than them hearing my mixer, they're hearing me through my microphone on my iPhone. So, and in fact, when I try to capture it, it will tell me that it's not doing sound or something. So I stopped doing that. Okay. All right. So, switching gear real quick to Aaron. You said that you have something to ask or something you learned.
Yes. Here we go. All right. I haven't gotten much done with this, but I'm
Oh my gosh.
trying to
You're trying to
color code
label
my cables.
Ah,
Yes, so I know what's going on.
good job.
So yeah, so this is the bad cable. I'm just experimenting, and I don't know, just playing
Oh,
around with
good.
different
Look at
little
that.
things. Yeah.
Labeling, cable
Yes.
managing.
Yes. Yes. Last week was that wasn't good.
No, in fact, what was it? The one thing that we were gonna reiterate. I said if you yes. So let's talk about that because that's important. We spent over 3 hours, 3.5 hours probably,
4 hours.
on
Mm.
We
Thanks,
have to
Luis.
relive this.
and first thing I asked was check and see if all your channel, if there's any solo or listen button press or mute button press. But
Oh yeah.
I can I mean, there's good reason why that you're not seeing it. I think later on you explained to us, but I don't think you explained to us while we're on air. So I'm gonna
That's
show
right.
people. I'm gonna show people what he's talking about. So
It was a virtual channel which we've spoke to, right? We were just talking about virtual
Yeah.
channels, weren't you?
yes. So look at it. So when I say, is any of your microphone or your fader muted? And you can see this is muted. You can kind of sort of see on here that's a little bit brighter than this color. So it's muted here. It is also reflected on the screen up there. So you can see on my channel 2 right there, you can see that red, little gradient red from bottom. So you checked on that. But I think you check on those two things. None of those are
Yes.
pressed. But if you look over to the virtual side, so this side on the right-hand side, so why do I know this is virtual? All the physical fader, meaning these faders, are marked by those to the left of this little faint line. So that to the left side are all your physical channels. So I'm speaking my mic 1 right there. So there are 6 of them on a RØDECaster Pro II, and there are 4 in a RØDECaster Duo. Is it 4? I can't remember. 4, right? Yeah. 4 channels?
Yeah.
4 physical, 4 channels.
Oh, 4, yeah.
4 physical channels. Physical 4 channels. 4 physical channels. And then to the right of it, if you add virtual channels, how many virtual channels can you add to a RØDECaster Duo? I guess you can, if you only
2.
have 4, you can add more virtual channels, right?
No.
No,
2.
you can only add 2?
2.
Oh.
2 is it? Interesting.
2's in.
Wait, what do you
That
mean?
you can see.
That's all
Because
I can see.
you have 4 physical
So-
channels, and then you have 2 virtual, then you have your sound pad.
So you can only have 2 down here in the virtual channel? Well, I guess that would be, you should be able to accommodate mic 1 and 2, and then USB 1 main, USB chat, USB 2.
Oh no, you can do 3. You can do 3 virtual. You can
Probably
do 4
more.
physical, 3 virtual.
Oh, 'cause-
Confirmed by AI.
and then confirm my.
Well, I'm sitting here looking.
What about this? What about sound pads? You can do sound pads. Is it? That's probably because anybody else know? Please, Maestro. Do you? Oh, but you don't have. You have a Pro II. You don't have a Duo. I'm saying it should allow you to add the same amount of virtual channels as the. I mean, more virtual channels because you have fewer physical channels.
It doesn't. You're capped at 4 and 3.
4 and 3, 4 and
So ours is in. So I will tell you, like, if we're looking at our fader assignment, where your physical is on the top and your virtual is on the bottom, our physical is on the left and our virtual is on the right. It's all one line.
Okay. Do you guys have a camera setup that you can show us? Or no, you don't have to, but if you do, I would like to see. I mean, I'm sure the audience would like to see it. Since we're on YouTube now, we don't have to only use words. We can use words and visual to show. I'm just now seeing some chats on there as you're doing that. What is Marcos said? I must be a messy loop for the RØDECaster to capture the sound from Clubhouse for other app mirroring. Oh yeah, what we were talking about earlier. Otherwise, all apps goes to RØDECaster chat channel or main stereo virtual. Yeah. Okay. Right. What we were talking about earlier about the additional inputs or the virtual inputs. Okay. So, because I was thinking, I've never seen the interface, and I'm always curious because the channels that we have. Okay, wait. Wait. So that is from your RØDECaster Duo. Let me pull that up so we can see it too. This is Charles's sharing. Okay, there.
Yeah, so here you've got the 4 physical channels, and then you have the 3 virtual. And that's it.
So even though, and have you used up all your channels?
No, I don't use the third one. I just put it there to see if another one would show up.
Is your screen smaller or the same screen? It's the same screen, right? I think.
It is the same screen. Just
hi,
like
Nee.
hey, it is the same screen with the RØDECaster.
Yeah. So if it's the same screen, why can't we fit more? Is what I'm trying to figure out. Like, couldn't you add more virtual channels if you're limited to only 4 physical channels?
I would think it would have something to do with the faders or whatever they call it on the Duo, because the Duo has, I believe, 2 lesser ones compared to the RØDECaster Pro II that has 1, 2,
The physical.
3, 4, 5,
You're talking about
6,
the physical?
Yeah, the physical faders.
Like the inputs.
No. I'm talking about the faders.
Faders, there are 4 faders.
Yeah, there are 4 faders on that one, and then we have 6.
Right.
So I would think it would have something to do with that, and also with the input, because they only got 2 mic inputs.
So you can only have 3 virtual channels, just like how we can only have 3 virtual channels. And even if you have more inputs, you're going to have to swap them out? You know, I never thought about that, and I'm so glad we're having this discussion.
Yep. Yeah, because I mean, if you had, you know, now you could link your 1 and 2 into one channel.
Right.
So you could take those 2 inputs and put them to one fader.
But that still doesn't help. Like, I'm just,
let's say that you're moving, you've got your headset here, you've got your sound pads, you get your Bluetooth.
So what else is not used yet? Let me see.
That's everything.
So maybe that's why. So if you were to have the expanded input, do you want to do it? If you were to have the expanded, if you have the expanded input, maybe you can add more. So anybody else out here use?
It could be.
You know, because there is just no physical limitation to why it does not allow you to have more virtual channels. I mean, I know why the limitation of not having physical channels, because you only have 4 faders, right? But it should allow you to have it should allow you to have as many virtual channels. In fact, I know it does that because on the website, this is a quick segue to the website. So if you go to my website, go to resources. When you go to resources, I actually have, sometimes, you know, occasionally I would run into where I would want to look for which channel. Oh, where am I? Sorry, where did I go? Here. So I would try to remember and recall which channel is USB. And if you want to, you know, use multi-track, and if you want to go onto your DAW and you want to just pull your USB 1 or USB 2, which channel is that to use? You know, it's impossible. It's very difficult, even though they make it like on the website, the user manual for your RØDECasters. It's almost impossible. Well, almost impossible to try to quickly search for something because it's not a PDF manual. And so what I did is I compiled this channel here. So on the website, if you scroll down, RØDECaster channels, and I have the OG here, the Duo here, Pro 2 here, and then OG here. All those channels, if you use the main, if you use multi-track, all those channel numbers are labeled here. So on our RØDECaster Pro 2, it has 1 additional channels. So yeah, even though it has 2 fewer hardware inputs, it just have 1 fewer channel in here. So which means you should be able to get all that. And well, that doesn't mean they are there. That doesn't mean you can add those to the virtual channels. I think it could be because if that is indeed the case, you're limited to only 3. It's probably because you're limited to, they don't want to make it so hard to try to control your different channels virtually. Like you have to, you know, if you're here, you have to go and tap on this and then go into like 4 of them. Technically, you have the space because your virtual channels are only down to 4, so you should have more space. So we still haven't figured out if you are limited to only 3 channels or not. We haven't really like tested it just yet.
I'll tell you this.
Google AI says it does. It's 3.
Looking at your display, so trying to figure out like where's the lost space going, because they're both 5.5-inch screens,
right?
So one thing I can tell you is that our sound pads that are on the right of the screen are larger.
Oh, this is larger
than yours.
Okay.
They're wider. So we only get
encroach
6.
into. Oh yeah, that's true.
So where you have 8.
Oh, otherwise it'd be long.
6.
Okay, so now it stretches out probably up to like, it takes up 2 channels probably.
So it's right. I would say about even with the A channel there that you're showing.
Okay. So like one channel, then it takes up like that space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This will be somebody that nobody will be talking to you about except for here. Let me tell you, nobody will be talking about.
I have a theory.
Yes. Who are you, Aaron? Is that Aaron?
Yeah. If you have the Pro 2, and then they come out with the Duo, and the Duo gives you 4 faders, but still gives you 5 virtual channels, you're probably going to be pissed off. They can probably fit it in there, but they probably don't do it because they're, what do you say when you're consuming your own customers or something?
Oh, like
that's true.
What's it called? Cannibalize your own
yes,
sale.
yes, that's it. That's the word.
Well, and Apple's ran into that
Consume
where they've overlapped.
Sorry, Charles.
Apple's ran into that where they've had, on the Mac side of things, they've had things so much, why spend $10,000 on, a cheese grater or the new Mac Pro when you can get a Mac Studio that will do just about everything the Mac Pro will do.
Yeah.
It starts to cannibalize itself. And it's so close that it's like, is it really worth it?
But this is still our theory.
Can't make that delineage.
This is still our theory. I would like to, maybe Charles should sacrifice and enable your multi.
No,
you can always turn it off. So
Charles, just do it.
Just go to output,
Charles,
outputs multi-track, and then go to USB 1, and then turn on expanded. It won't hurt anything.
See, the Charles that we knew a couple of years ago would have done it.
He was with the that's why he's stuck with his OG.
You couldn't do any of this on the OG.
Yeah, you
couldn't do any of this on the OG.
So I'm just curious if that is true, where we can have, when you have more channels, maybe it allows you to add the 4th one there, because you don't have any spare channels. But now, because back then it wasn't an issue, that is the max you can add. But now with expanded virtual channels, now you have the option to add more channels to it. And I don't think it's a software limitation, and not even hardware, because they can shrink the screen down smaller so that it will fit additional, more channels up there. Well, that said, okay. Maestro raised his hand.
I just thought the same thing. Why can't they unify the RØDECaster Duo and Pro with the Unify software app?
Like so then you would have to like Unify as in like you have to go through like a desktop app to make them do the same thing.
Why can't we connect our hardware with their software version of the same thing they're manipulating?
Because the Unify software is garbage. I mean,
can't even use it anymore.
No.
We have to use a RØDECaster app.
But okay, I just thought of something too. So if we're in fader, maybe it's the same, because when I'm looking at this, I also technically I still have my music channel and my B virtual channel that is not used, but I'm maxed out with 3 virtual channels only. So they could let me add another one, but they do not. But the thing is, on a mini, or not mini, on a Duo, you have 2 fewer faders, so they should allow you to have 2 additional virtuals, I would think.
I think it's possible.
Maybe they just don't want to make it confusing. Virtual always 3.
No, it's about the money. It's about the money in the products. You don't want to cannibalize the other project.
I see what you're saying. But
I have an example. I have an example of something, and it goes back to something Luis was talking about a few weeks ago, using a MIDI to connect the buttons to your Stream Deck.
Yeah.
Whereas the RØDECaster Video, they have an app where it connects directly to the Stream Deck. Why don't they have one of those for the Duo to connect directly to the Stream Deck? You got to use a third-party app.
To. Yeah, I would love to.
Is Luis sleep? He didn't comment.
They don't. No, they don't want you
Oh.
to. They don't want you to. Well, not they don't want you to. I just think that there's just not enough resources in the development team to have to write the plugin for video. Makes sense because the control is so limited. Like it's very
That
simplified,
makes
right?
sense. Yeah, yeah.
So I think, but if they have to devote more time, pull more engineers to program the stuff that you can already do on the RØDECaster, maybe that's like very low on their list.
That
So
makes sense.
if they have
I-
nothing to do, then maybe the
John?
road engineers would do that. Yes, Luis.
They do have their own MIDI.
Did you have the what?
They have their own.
They have their
MIDI.
own MIDI.
Yep.
They have their own MIDI. What? Like Rode has their own MIDI something?
Program, yes.
What is it? Is it
for
like,
the stream for the Duo,
Duo,
a Pro II? Really?
what is it?
yes.
Show
They
me.
have a program for their stuff.
So
I
you
don't know how to explain it.
can you
Just-
say that again?
No, what he's saying is that they made it for themselves and they're not sharing it with the general public.
Oh,
There you go.
Seriously. Okay,
I
there
don't know.
you go.
I don't know how Luis got to know that, but hey, he's Mr. Road, right?
Maybe.
But
You want to know
I
why?
go ahead.
Because I told them that I want to hook it up to the Stream Deck, and they told me that you could program the pads to everything.
so you're
Using
saying
MIDI.
you can I think what they're talking about is using the smart pads to program MIDI. They're not talking about the reverse.
No,
No?
no. I just literally yesterday
Mm.
programmed my mute and my listen and something else to my Stream Deck. So I press a button on my Stream Deck and it mutes on my RØDECaster.
Yeah,
My mind was blown away.
that's why we're saying that we can do that, but we have to use like a third party
party.
solution to do that, right? But I think what Luis is saying that Rode has their own. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying? So
Yes.
Rode has their own solution to control their RØDECaster from.
I can control the faders, the
Uh-huh.
meters,
Uh-huh.
whatever you call those.
The fader,
Yes,
what, volume up and down.
I can control that with OBS.
You can control that with
OBS, yeah.
Oh,
Interesting.
so not Rode.
Yeah, no, you can use.
I mean,
Bro,
so
Oh, okay. So I see where Lewis is coming from. So
Ah.
with the OG, right? Is it Reaper? When I was using Reaper with the OG, I could control my volume up and down with Reaper just by going into the MIDI, and that works. So what I believe what Luis is saying is that in OBS they have it the same way. So it could be that maybe we have to tinker with it, with whatever software that
Yes.
we wanted to control,
Yeah.
and then we'll go into it.
but
and
is
then
that truly
that-
from Rode though? I'm questioning. It's just, or is there just a solution that somebody made for OBS to control the Rode's button through MIDI, which is what we're doing with Stream Deck. We're using MIDI to control the stream. Like when I record a show, I hit a button and it starts recording without, because I keep forgetting to hit record. So it is essentially at its core just MIDI, but it may not be a solution directly from Rode. It allows you to control it, but it may not be a Rode solution.
I
This
would
is a
pull
fun
up.
discussion.
I would pull up all the updates since they release the RØDECaster Pro II, and then just run it through ChatGPT or put it through Notebook LM, and then just give it some keywords and try to see if it would pull up. Because probably it wasn't an update that I know. I don't read updates when they pull out those, whatever
Me
they
neither.
fix. Whatever they fix, so it could be that maybe they fixed it in it, but we
But-
just don't know.
Regardless, I would like to have Rode has a solution like the RØDECaster video, where I can just drag whatever control I want to do on the RØDECaster Duo or RØDECaster Pro II. Everybody's nodding their head, and I can just hit the button, because sometimes I want to program multi-action on my Stream Deck, and I want to be able to hit record and all that without having to go through the, to me, kind of complex third-party thing, which is why, you know, Luis, since first day, been wanting us to talk more about MIDI. This is the most MIDI conversation we're going to ever have for a while until I get my head wrapped around it.
If they do that, then you'd have to get rid of all your Elgato stuff also. So
that's what it is. It's too much competition.
It's like Rode wants to focus on one thing and do it better.
I think it's resources, because it doesn't hurt Elgato. I mean,
it doesn't. It doesn't. But John, they promised to give us guitar tuners.
They promised. Well, they never did.
They
could
did.
give no stereo reverb.
Yeah. So, and can they do it? Yes, they can. You know.
Yeah. Then they went and decided to create a RØDECaster video.
Yeah. Apple just made the iPads look like the MacBooks and stuff like that. So just give it time. It will come. It will come.
Maybe.
You know,
maybe at the end. It's like toward the end of its life, like how the RØDECaster OG having MIDI control and everything.
When the RØDECaster Pro III comes out, we're gonna get all those.
RØDECaster OG had reverb for like a few weeks, and then they pulled it because it was too resource heavy, and then it was taxing on the device, and it was unstable. Anyway, let's wrap this up. This is a fun conversation. This is acting more and more like what I envisioned a RØDECaster user meetup being. It's just nerdy talk about RØDECaster specifically, no sidetrack and talk about headphones or anything. This is specifically about RØDECaster. This is very good conversation.
So I will tell you this real quick. So I'm gonna let you down.
Yes.
I did enable it.
Yeah.
And you still had the same thing.
3. Okay. But at least we confirm it. So now you have more channels.
Now I can turn it back off.
Please do. Because now we know for sure that even if you have more channels available, you still can't add more virtual channels. You only are limited to 3 virtual channels. All right, we're going to wrap up RØDECaster User Meetup. If you are a RØDECaster user, I definitely encourage you to come join us every Tuesday live if you want to. If not live, you can watch it replay. And in the future, if you have questions or if you have knowledge, maybe that you can share with us that we haven't talked about, feel free to come join our show. And we'll see you on Soundcheck, which is our next show, sister show in the next hour.
Oh, so we're going to set 3 hours more?
No, 1 hour only. Okay, goodbye.